A walking tour of the Seal Beach Pier and Seal Beach Main Street in Seal Beach, California. I am Chris. This is my co-host and co-walker, the Traveling Princess. Today, in this video, we're going to be walking you down California's second largest wooden pier in all of the state. What's the first largest? It is the one in Oceanside. You can check my video out on the Oceanside Pier later. I'm going to turn this camera around and show you from the front. We are starting the walk at the end of the pier. The end of the pier, it's a big area. It's nice to come down here. And what's really neat about the location of this pier is Seal Beach is just to the south of Long Beach and just north of Huntington Beach. And so standing at this pier, you can see Long Beach downtown in the back. You can see a bunch of cargo ships. You can see cruise ships out here. And so it's really a neat place to see the working harbor that is Long Beach, all those ships right there on the coast. And it usually doesn't get that many waves because Catalina Island, which you can see on a clear day, has a tendency to block most of the surf. All right, so let's go ahead and take a walk down this pier and down the main street now. This pier, located in the city of Seal Beach, has a population of 25,000. So Seal Beach is a pretty small city, which gives kind of this beach and Main Street a small town charm and small town vibe. Now, this pier, unlike Huntington Beach Pier, just to the south, Huntington Beach Pier gets really busy. This pier doesn't get too busy because, as you saw at the end of it, there's not really a restaurant or a thing. There's just that open viewing area. It is a popular spot for fishing, but if you do come here to fish, then you will need to bring your own bait and fishing rods because there are no places on the pier to rent the fishing rods. Another thing I like about coming to Seal Beach is that the parking here is free parking, which is unusual for Orange County and LA. Most of the parking at most of the beaches here end up charging you an arm and a leg to park, so free parking is quite refreshing. Here on the right, there's a little boat launch on the pier. I think this is just for the lifeguards or government folks, because I've never actually seen anybody else using it. Actually, I've actually never seen it being used. Most of the time, it's just a place for birds, seagulls, and pigeons to hang out. They like it quite a bit, and I think that this railing ends up being their bathroom, since there's no other bathroom at the end of the pier. On that note, all the bathrooms are at the foot of the pier, so if you're walking down this and you gotta go, well, make sure you go before you get to the end. By the way, I'm shooting this video today on the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. And if you're interested in more about this particular phone I'm using, you can check out my video review of it. I'll put it in a card right up here or a link in the description below. I've been using this phone to shoot most of my walking tours, and I think it does pretty good 4K, and I also like being able to plug in this headset that I use, because the challenge of doing a lot of these walking tours on piers is that really windy, and so I need a substantial microphone so that you don't just end up hearing windy whooshes all the time. Okay, so we are now coming up a little bit closer to the shoreline of this pier. You can see Seal Beach's main lifeguard tower there on the right. And I mentioned that Catalina Island blocks most of the waves in Seal Beach, so this is not really a great place to look out and see surfers, because as you can see today, there are no surfers in the water. Great place for little kids to come and enjoy. Seal Beach will get surf on some particular days, but in general, if you're looking for the best surfing waves, then you will want to head over to Huntington Beach, which is just down in this direction to the south. By the way, the Seal Beach proper beach is pretty small. If you see the rock jetty over there, that's one end of Seal Beach. And then when we pan back here over to the left, there's another rock jetty, and that is the northern end of Seal Beach. I mentioned that Seal Beach was in Orange County. This is the most northwest portion of Orange County, and then just to the north where it becomes Long Beach, that's then where Los Angeles begins. Los Angeles, the big city. And so I said this does retain a small town charm, small town vibe. This pier was originally built in 1939. Though in the about 20 years ago, there was a fire on the pier, and it was recently rebuilt due to that fire. That's the thing that happened to almost all piers, particularly ones that are made out of wood, right? Which is why a lot of piers they don't make out of wood anymore, and instead they make out of concrete so that they don't burn down as much. Now, when Seal Beach got started as a town, it actually got its start originally being known as an amusement area and a gambling area. There was a big Navy base in Long Beach just up the way, and Long Beach was a dry town, meaning that they didn't allow alcohol. And so the sailors, of course, were looking for places to come and drink, and Seal Beach said, come and drink here. Prohibition happened, and then Seal Beach had to find a new claim to fame, which in that case was gambling. There were, in the 20s and 30s, there were 6 gambling casino establishments on Main Street, and then in kind of the beach or harbor area here of Seal Beach, there were a number of ships that would dock out here where people could gamble on the ships. Of course, all that gambling is no more, and Seal Beach now kind of has a really just relaxed, pretty chill sort of vibe. Okay, I'm just going to give you one shot of the beach before we continue onwards. You can see this is a pretty wide beach. It's sort of interesting because they build this big sand berm here in the middle, so the houses over there are actually lower than this hill where the sand berm is. I should take my finger out of it so that it can actually focus. Now, I generally park up on Main Street, things like that, because I like to maybe eat when I get here, something like that, but there's also plenty of parking down here at the pier. I will point out that this pier parking lot will cost you money, and so if you want the free parking, park out on Main Street or up on the other streets that have parking. Now, we see down here on the right, there's a little children's playground, has some swings and some slides. I think someday our traveling explorer will be interested in those. You can see, I think she's actually looking down there at those swings and that slide saying, Papa, are you going to take me down there once we're done with this walking tour? I think we just might. And they also store some of the other lifeguard towers here in the back. I am shooting this on Friday, February 26th, so it is a winter day here in Southern California, about 70 degrees and sunny is the temperature. Now, what is really neat about this little children's playground here, I'm going to zoom in, is that there are a couple of seals here in the playground. It is called Seal Beach after all, so that's neat. And then if we look over here to the trash can on the pier actually has a little seal on it. There's a lot of seal-themed stuff in this city. And then just down here on the Seal Beach Surf and Weather Report in front of the lifeguard tower, they've also got that with a little seal on it as well. Okay. Continuing onwards, we are almost to the foot of the pier. The restrooms are just down here, right below the pier. So if you're looking for them, they're actually really not obvious since they're underneath the pier. You could easily miss them, but that's where they are. There's a neat old clock tower up here that says Seal Beach 100 years. They celebrated their centennial in 2015. So Seal Beach as a city got started in 1915. Did I say there's a lot of seals here? There's a lot of seals. I've actually never seen a real seal here, and maybe there are, because maybe that's why it's called Seal Beach. But nowadays, what you're just going to see are all the statues, pictures, and paintings of seals. And they tell you here, Seal Beach Pier, destroyed by storms in 1983, reconstructed in 1984. There were other signs that talk about the fires, and so such is the life of most piers that do end up getting stormed down and have to be rebuilt. All right, so we're crossing the street now. This is Seal Beach's main street that I'm going to walk you down. We'll take a look at the shops and restaurants that are here. The first one we have right in front of the pier is the Hangout Restaurant and Beach Bar. I'm shooting this during the pandemic, and so there's a lot more outdoor seating than you might typically find out here. And something that's neat about this particular restaurant is they put these little personal heaters up just like individually for these tables to keep it warm out here. So you will see there's tons of tables and chairs set up in parking lots and out on the street that isn't typical for what you would find in Seal Beach during normal times. When will it be normal times again? I'm sure that's what everybody wants to know, and I don't have an answer for you. But I actually think this outdoor seating in Southern California is something that people like, and I almost think a lot of this outdoor seating should continue because it's nice, it's sunny, you're at the beach, you want to sit outside instead of sitting inside. Let's see. This store says, "I am not a shopaholic, I am simply helping the economy. And all masks are now 50% off." So I mentioned that this main street used to be home to a ton of casinos and gambling establishments. Now there's a lot of bars on the street. There's the Irisher Saloon across the street. So if you're looking for some place to get some alcoholic beverages after you go to the beach, this would be a place you could enjoy. Across the street here in the yellow awning, there's a place called Sweet Jill's Bakery. If you're looking for sweets, check that out. They make some pretty good cinnamon rolls. And then just to the right of it is the California Seashell Company. If you're here with kiddos that want to get some shells as souvenirs, I think they would like that. Here on the right, we are passing the Angel Store. Lots of things that are themed with wings, as angels might be. Now, another neat thing about this street are all the trees that are on it. So on a hot, sunny day, it's actually cool to walk down here because, as you can see, it is relatively shaded. This place, I've not eaten here yet. This looks new. The Seal Beach Chicken Company. Fried chicken, grilled chicken. I feel like fried chicken is sort of like making a comeback now. But walking down the street just after the Irish pub, I mentioned there's a lot of bars, right? There's a lot of bars. The Irish pub has added some seating out here where you can sit and enjoy the view of Main Street. And you can see when this Irish pub is open, it's a really classic woody Irish pub where you can get your Guinness. Looks just like something perhaps out of Dublin. So my favorite place to eat in Seal Beach is right here. It is a Slice of New York Pizza, voted best pizza in Seal Beach. You can get 2 slices and a drink for $8.27. That is a pretty good deal. We'll just take a quick peek in here. You can see they have that case that has all the slices of pizza in it. Very New York and very delicious. Some of their pizzas, you get cheese, Big Apple, Manhattan. This would be my favorite, the meatball, sausage, and pepperoni. These are the full prices. Pizza by the slice, about $3.50 if you just want one slice. Bicycling is pretty popular around Seal Beach, so they got a lot of places you can park your bike. And they say Seal Beach, I'm surprised that it has a pelican and not a seal. I would have expected a seal. On my right, we just passed the Temecula Olive Oil Company. I don't know, these gourmet olive oil places are something that seem to be opening up everywhere. So now we're crossing the second street from the pier. This is Central Avenue. And as we cross Central Avenue, I want to call your attention to the street sign. The street signs in Seal Beach also have little seals on them. Just in case you were confused, forgot where you were, no problem. I'm going to walk over to the other side of the street now, so that, one side of the street doesn't get all the love. Let's go ahead and check out the north side of Main Street. Here we have Walt's Wharf, which is a seafood restaurant. Currently not open. I think they're just open for dinner tonight, but they have a big outdoor seating area where I'm sure we'll find tables later if we came for this evening. Ice cream shops. There's a sign here that says new shop. Who dis? I don't know who this is. We have Avila's El Ranchito Mexican restaurant. They're like a mini chain in Orange County. I have never eaten at Avila's, but they always seem to be busy every location I go by. We've got some old school jewelers. We've got a little old antique shop. We've got another kid in a stroller coming up here. We have an old hardware store. This is how you know you're kind of in like an old-timey Main Street, when you see like hardware stores that look like this, a place that has not been taken over by, Home Depot, Lowe's, or some other big chain hardware store. The coastal vibe for furnishing and clothing is popular, so you'll see a lot of these shops in Seal Beach and other places in Orange County that basically have white, blue, and would you call that green? I'd call that green to decorate your home or as attire you might want to wear. If you're looking for something for the kiddos, here's a small toy shop, Knock Knock Toys and Gifts. How many little toy stores do you see anymore, right? I mean, Toys R Us is out of business, KB Toys out of business. I guess to buy toys, people just go to Target and buy them on Amazon. I think it's great to still see some toy shops here and there. On the left, we have the Main Street Mercantile and Brita's Old Town Gardens. Just a neat little nursery where you can pick up some plants. You can also pick up soaps, candles, all sorts of natural things. And there's a salon there in the back on that second level. On the left here, there is a little outdoor cafe. This is McKenna's Tea Cottage, where you can get tea, scones, candy, and gifts. These people clearly left, but just looking at that table, you can see some neat tea things. The multi-level looks like some clotted cream along with that jam. This looks like a place that OC Girl would love to come to. We like afternoon tea, particularly when we go to London. We've not checked out McKenna's Cottage yet, but that might be in the cards. Now, we're crossing Electric Avenue, and why is it called Electric Avenue? Well, because this street, which as you can see is a wide street, used to be home to the electric red car that people could take from Los Angeles all the way down here. It was called the Balboa Line, and so this line ran down into Newport Beach, into the Balboa Peninsula. Many people don't know, but Los Angeles had one of the most extensive rail networks in the world until they decided to tear it all up to make way for cars. But this is one of the few places in the area that you can still see some of the tracks, and you can see one of the original red cars that would come down here. And so I think if there's actually one thing that's most historic to come and see in Seal Beach is one of the original Pacific Electric rail cars. Well, if your travels bring you to this part of Orange County or even Long Beach, and you want to check out kind of a quaint beach, small town, then definitely check out Seal Beach. By the way, this is often a museum closed due to COVID-19, but I'm sure it'll reopen sometime, so you can check that out. If you want to see my video on Oceanside, the longest wooden pier on the West Coast, you can click right here, or find links in the description to more of my walking tours on other piers, Santa Monica Pier, Redondo Beach Pier, other cool places. Well, as usual, we won't say goodbye because we'll see you in one of those videos.